Devin
and Robin
from Books by the Dozen, and we are going to be doing a book review / book discussion for The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer
and The Evolution of Mara Dyer
by Michelle Hodkin.
Well, we both loved this
Yes,
book.
5
Both
out of
of the
5
books.
stars
Yeah.
for both of them. Definitely.
And the two main characters, Mara and Noah, probably our favorite literary characters of all time.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning of the first book, Mara goes through a traumatic incident where a building collapses and she loses her best friend, her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's sister. And afterwards, she's grieving, and they think...
Well, she somehow survives this, by the way. She was also in this accident.
With a bruise on her cheek.
That's it. She just had a bruise on her cheek. That's the only thing that happened to her.
And so she thinks that it would probably be better for, to get past it if they didn't live in the same town. So her whole family, supporting her, uproots their lives and they move to Florida. Yeah. And that's where, her whole new life starts to, take form. She starts a new school, meets Noah, Jamie, all these new people.
Yeah, but the whole time that she's doing this, she's dealing with her post-traumatic stress disorder, which is manifesting itself in hallucinations and things like that. So she's thinking that she's going insane. And she knows it's the PTSD, but
she's seeing things.
Yeah.
And things are happening around her. And the first, 2/3 of the book, it feels like, oh, this is a contemporary book about a girl that's going insane.
Right.
But the last third of it, all of a sudden it takes a huge paranormal turn, and that's how the second book starts off from there. And
yeah. So the way that Michelle wrote this book, it was, the narrator is Mara, you're seeing it through her eyes, and it's so effective that it feels like it's you. It feels like you are going insane. There are a few times reading it that I had to stop. I know she wanted to just push through it because that's the only way you can get past that part, but I had to stop, and I had to realize, okay, this isn't happening to me. I'm in my bedroom. Everything's okay. Because it feels like you're going insane with her, like you are Mara.
And her writing is also, besides being, terrifying at parts, it's terrifying. It's really well written. Yeah. I think it's really witty too. You shouldn't be able to, laugh in a story like this.
And be terrified at the same time.
But somehow she manages it, and really, really enjoyed it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the characters in it, give you sort of an overview. We'll try not to give anything away yet. So the first character, or the main character, is Mara Dyer, obviously.
Right.
She's 17, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, she was 16, turned 17 in the first
16, book. She's just turned 17. And she's dealing with her PTSD. She's dealing with, her mom's trying to control, make sure that she's...
Her mom's is she a psychologist or a psychiatrist?
Psychologist, I think.
Yeah, psychologist. So she's reading into everything she does.
Yeah. And she just wants to, have control of her life, and everything that starts happening, it's sort of her battle throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, she's a really, really resilient character, because if things that happened to her happened to anyone else, I don't think anyone would have any hope of being okay after that.
Another reason we love Mara is because she's sarcastic.
Super sarcastic.
But it doesn't make her cynical. Mm-hmm. When a character is just too sarcastic all the time, no, she's not like that. It's almost like, it's her defense mechanism. Yeah. She's logical.
She's very logical.
Despite everything that's going on, she's still logical.
Yeah. And then the next person is Noah, who is Mara's second half. They're very yin and yang in so many different ways, and so they mesh well together. He's also really sarcastic and funny and witty, and he's also going through, personal things from his past.
He has his own demons.
He definitely has his own demons.
And he's British.
And I love him. Yep. The list of, literary boyfriends, he's number one for me.
We're actually going to read you a quote, that kind of, gives you an idea of Mara and Noah's relationship.
And this is kind of the beginning of their relationship, where he's trying to weasel his way in, and she's trying to push him away because she feels like she can't relate to anybody right now, and they just have they have hilarious banter. She's in his car, and he's smoking, and he says she doesn't have to smoke if it bothers her, and she said, it doesn't bother me. If you don't mind looking 40 years old at 20, smelling like an ashtray and getting lung cancer, why should I? And he said, I find it hilarious that whenever I light up, Americans look at me like I'm going to urinate on their children. And thanks for your concern, but I've never been ill a day. I've never been ill a day in my life. How nice for you. It is nice, yes. Now, do you mind if I drive the starving dog in the back of my car to the veterinarian? I'm sorry. Is driving and talking too complicated? No problem. I'll shut up. Yeah, just things like that, and it's constant. Like, for the next, 10 pages after this, it's just constant banter like that, and it's not annoying. It's just hilarious to read.
Yeah, it's just nice that they don't have, a, super lovey relationship.
Mm-mm.
And even the lovey parts don't really bother me in this book, the romance in it.
I think it's because I'm just so for Noah and Mara. I'm like, more mushy. I don't even care. Normally it's like, okay, I'm enough with the I'm blushing and no, I don't even care. Just
blush away.
Blush away.
Alright, next character
is Jamie. Jamie Roth something. I can't remember his last name. He is a black Jewish guy at her school. It's her.
He reminds me of Radar.
Radar? Yeah.
Radar.
Yeah, it reminds me of him too. But he is the first and only friend she makes at her new school, and he is hilarious. Everything he says is funny.
He's always making references to Harry Potter. He makes the Hobbit ones. Oh,
Twilight.
Yeah. He tells Noah and Mara to get a meadow.
Yeah. I had to laugh at that part. It took me a second, then I'm like, yeah, gotcha. Just an example of his just everyday sarcasm and stuff like that. A lot of people don't understand him, but he's talking about one of the guys from school who's this huge asshole, and says, let's just say I tried to make friends with Davis once in the platonic sense, Jamie clarified. I'm not his type. Anyway, my jaw still clicks when I yawn. He hit you? Indeed, Davis has a vicious right hook. I got him back later, though. Oh? I threatened him with Ebola. I blinked. I don't actually have Ebola. It's a biosafety level 4 hot agent. I blinked again. In other words, impossible for teenagers to obtain, even if your father is a doctor. Right, I said, but Davis believed it and almost soiled himself. It was a defining moment for me until the rat bastard tattled to the guidance counselors who believed him and called my dad to verify I didn't actually have Ebola at home, idiots. One little joke involving I can't say that word, hemorrhagic fever, and they brand you unstable. You're totally freaked out right now. Yeah, stuff like that. He's just got a sense of humor that I wish I had. He thinks of things that I'm like, yes. I wish my brain worked like that because it's hilarious.
Mara's younger brother, Joseph, and her older brother, Daniel. And Joseph is hilarious. He's
11, I think.
Yeah, but he watches C-SPAN and dresses in suits just because he thinks it's funny.
And he's just a sweet little kid. I love him. And then there's Daniel, who's, like she said, her older brother. And he is, the best brother ever. He believes her, even if he doesn't believe her, he's not condescending.
And, it's almost like he just doesn't care if she's sick or not. He just wants her better, and he doesn't care about anything else. There was a part when she was at Horizons, which is when, we'll talk about that more.
In the second book, yeah.
Yeah, it's a one step before they commit him.
Yeah, and it was kind of bring your family to school day, and they have him talk about each other, and he just says some of the nicest stuff about her, and it's
yeah, that part made me tear up a little bit.
He's just such a good brother. When everything, he's the solid aspect of her life. Him and Noah, when all of this is going crazy, she can count on both of them all the time.
Phoebe, and she doesn't appear until the second book, but the girl's crazy.
She's crazy. She's legitimately insane. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of insane going on, but she's actually crazy.
We have another quote for you. So, Mara and her friend, that also goes to Horizons, Stella, are just sitting there talking. But then Phoebe sat across from us and began watching me intently. She scribbled in her journal, chewing on her fingernails as she scratched away, creating a little pile on the table. Appetite gone. That's gross, Phoebe. It's for the voodoo doll, she answered, her smile spreading in like a stain. It looks like you. You can't respond to a statement like that. There's just nothing to say. A weird look settled on Phoebe's weird face, and she leaned forward. Give me your hair, she said to me.
Why would you say that to anybody ever? She's insane.
Insane.
What would make you say that to somebody? Yeah. I'm sorry, but just imagine someone saying that to you. Making a voodoo doll. Give me your hair. No!
Crazy. She's crazy. And then Stella, who she also meets in the second book, and she's a lot more like Mara than she thinks.
Yeah.
And she seems really insignificant at first, but we're thinking that she has a lot bigger of a role.
In the third one, yeah. I think she's going to show up a lot more.
And all of the characters, all of them, their stories just all mesh so
yeah,
well
that's
together.
another thing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of J.K. Rowling's writing, how every little thing seems to, like, intertwine, but you don't realize it's happening until after you've read it, and it's kind of written the same way. And so you'll something will happen in the beginning, and then it'll, like, come back at the end, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, definitely great books. I recommend them to everybody, anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that is going to be the end of the non-spoiler portion of this video.